Okay, welcome back to this. This is a revision to the main project that you're working on, and it's to do with buttons. There was a user that was asking me, Gary Cisco was asking me about buttons and why I could duplicate them and change their size, etc. Well, you can change the size and stuff of a button if it's just one color, or you want to apply that attribute. If you start putting things like images in them or letters, then when you change the size of that button, then those images within inside will also scale. Easiest way to show you is just to demonstrate it to you. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a red here with that's a red stroke. Want a red fill. Down here I'm going to create a square button there. Now I haven't made it into a button yet. At the moment it's an object that can be cut around or scaled down. Right next to it I'm going to create another button, but in this case I'm going to make it green. Here we go. But in this case I'm going to put an R in there and colour that red white. Now the reason I'm doing that is that then you'll see the scaling of it when I convert it into a button. So okay, that's one button there. So okay, click on the object, right hand click as you normally do. Now at the moment also check your libraries. There's nothing in the library because these are just flash objects that you've put in there. They're not graphics, they're not converted to anything yet. But when I name this and I convert it, which is obviously the right hand click and down to convert to symbol and then button, we'll call this scalable, and instantly you'll see in your library scalable button has come in there. Now I'm going to click all of this including the R, right hand click and convert to symbol and call this button unscalable. Okay, so now because I've got a button I can apply an action to it, so I could click the actions tab, go to a URL, go to a PDF, but I could also apply a different action. So I can make a duplicate of this like so, and you'll notice in the library, now I'm pressing the Alt key to duplicate it, but in the library it hasn't created a new one, and that's because it's the same as this. But because it's just one colour, I can scale it down and it's not really going to make any difference. However, with this, if I duplicate it and bring it across and then I decide to scale it, you'll notice that the R scales. So I can get away with it for this, but I can't get away with it with this one, scaling. And that's all there is to it. So have a play around. So if you did want to create an R this side, you basically would need to go and create a new button. And I could right hand click and then I could convert to symbol button, but then you'll have this button within this button, and the whole thing's like a tree. You can echo it right down. So you would need to, if you wanted the R to be in a smaller size button, you would need to come over here, select it, let's change it to that colour, that green, and then I would need to take this, I would need to take my text tool, type another R, type another R, I'm pressing Control R, put another R in there, change that to white, put that in there, and then select them both. I'm just doing it for speed here so you can get the idea. Right hand click, convert to symbol, new button. Let's call it new R and then OK, and you'll see it's now appearing in here. Now if you decide later on that you want to change the colour of this red to a green, you can always go into the properties of it, and you can do this by double clicking on the instant, and you go in and you notice now the colour's changed. So I could, for instance, recolour this to a yellowy colour, and instantly see that this smaller copy of it that we made has changed to yellow as well. So I hope that makes it a little bit clearer on buttons. Again, we'll be covering more of these sort of things, but basically that's all you really need to know about this. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the lessons.